welcome back to my channel. Let's just jump into the title of the story, which is why I dropped out of nursing school. So if you watched my vlog about I'm going to nursing school, you know, interview, process, and all of that, you'll notice that I had to take a test. Now this test is called the TEAS test. Yes, I see you, baby. I see you. It's called the TEAS test, and you typically have to take it when you go into nursing school. I'm not sure if every nursing school has you take it, but basically I took it. I did really good, and then I figured out why I did so good. And I'm not gonna, I mean, maybe I would have done just fine, but they just completely omit the science portion of the TEAS test. Which, you know, you're going to school to be a nurse. Like, you should know your stuff when you're applying to nursing school, right? And so I didn't even, like, they didn't even give me that portion of the test. And it costs like $75 to take it and blah, blah, blah. And let me give you some more details. This is how the interview went down. I go in, I take the test, right? It's kind of a little unorganized. They didn't really have a number for me or anything yet, so I just had to wait for a little while. I get my results. They're like, good job, you passed. I'm like, okay, that's a big deal. I'm the best. Woo woo. Then I go in and they're like, all right, let's give you a tour of the campus. And I'm thinking, okay. And the same person is doing everything. And so the same person took me to get my test done. The same person is giving me a tour, and the same person is going to enroll me. The same person does like everything at this school, okay? Their staff is very limited, is like the first thing I saw. Because this is a private school. It's an accelerated program. And I had read a few reviews online because, you know, why not go to Google when you're trying to apply for a school? A lot of the reviews were awful, but there were only like, what, 3 or 4 of them? And I looked up the school the year before, and so there were not really any updated reviews. I was like, okay, it should be good. And so I did that before coming into the interview because it was, guys, it was, I think the week that we were moving. So everything was packed. Our schedule was packed. We were trying to see family. We were trying to see friends. We were trying to pack. We're trying to just get our lives ready to be on the move and into our cars and into Texas. So they're giving us the tour, right? And everything looks good. Like, you know, all of their clinical settings look great. I don't know. It looked awesome. You know, I met a few of the students. But then we go back into this lady's office, and she says, all right, here's the breakdown of the cost, and here's the paperwork. And I'm like, so wait, I got in? Like, am I enrolling right now? And then she's like, yeah, totally. Do you have any questions? And I was like, well, can I talk to my husband about it for a minute? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm just thinking, can, like, you leave and I can talk to my husband for a minute? You know what I mean? I was like, and so I look at him and I'm like, what do you think? Because it's $50,000 or $60,000, guys, $60,000. And that's without FAFSA, which is government student aid or whatever. And we didn't even know if we would, like, be able to apply for that or not. We had applied the past 2 years, and it's such a pain in the butt. And so I was just like, Kaden, like, are you sure? And he's like, this is what you really want to do? Then yeah. And we had several discussions, let's call them discussions, about it before, when Kaden was like, Hannah, this is a ton of money. Are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yes, I do. I want to serve people and help people and be a nurse. It's always been my dream to be in the medical field, which is true, guys. I did a PowerPoint in what, 8th grade about plastic surgeons? That's got to count for something. Anyways, so I basically just signed the paperwork right then and there. Then she takes me to go get fitted for my scrubs. And I'm kind of on cloud 9, so I'm not really seeing anything at this point. And we'll get to that later. But you guys saw it all in that vlog. I enrolled and things were good. I was pumped, you know. I told my family I'm enrolled in nursing school. Everyone was so proud of me. You know, finally Hannah's doing something, because I've dropped out once before from school and went back, and we can talk about that story at another time. But basically I was just like, yay, My life is coming together. I'm going to be a stable woman that has a stable income, and I can support myself if I need to, and I like to work, so this will be perfect, and it'll be hard, but it's an accelerated program, so I'll get it done quick, and not easy, but just conveniently, right? Yeah. So, skip to the summer. I'm getting ready to sign up for classes, and so I call them on my designated date and time, and I couldn't get a hold of them, right? And so I email them, and I say, hey, I couldn't get a hold of you, and they say, okay, we are so sorry. We'll give you a call back. And we play phone tag back and forth. I'm unable to contact them. I'm unable to register for my classes. They don't email me about my classes. So I'm just thinking, okay, this is kind of a pain in the butt, and it does not seem very professional. So then I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of sketchy. I'm unable to contact them about registering for my classes. And so I go online, and I just start doing more research on this school. And within the past 3 weeks, there were like 15 new reviews. And that's because, what do you know, the semester just ended, and so many people were finally able to, write Google reviews. Because when you're enrolled somewhere, or if you're like at a current job, you never want to leave a bad review while you're still there, right? So lots of these people said, one, that the professors are so hard and they do not test on what they teach you in class, because the more you fail classes, the more it's going to cost you, because you're going to have to retake those classes, right? And the classes are only like 8 weeks, 9 weeks long, I think. They're very short because, it's accelerated, so you're packing in a ton of information in a short period of time. So that was one red flag. The second red flag was these people were saying how they finished their degree, or they were halfway through and they were thinking of the future and where they wanted to go specialize, like nurse anesthetist, whatever you want to do. And they said that the credits only transfer to a few schools in state. Like, that is also a red flag, because I mean, yeah, you're going to have to take tests and, whatnot when you're applying for schools out of state, but your credits should be able to transfer just fine. But only 1 or 2 schools actually accepted the students from that university. So I was like, okay, that's a huge red flag. And the third flag was their accreditation, and it was not a good accreditation. They had just recently gotten it. The student was having trouble communicating with them about it, and they just wouldn't get back to her. And there were just so many of the same things, of classes being failed because they just don't teach, which, that can, what's it called? It can be different person to person. But the other 2, I was like, okay, all of these 3 together are kind of iffy. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna not enroll in any classes, because it's so small. They have a lot of contact with you, and I was like, I'm just gonna see and wait if they contact me, because I just don't think this is a good idea. It's kind of sketchy. They say you're in it for the money. Oh, and also, I'm also gonna blame this on the last university I attended, because the counselor told me take as many classes as I could there before going to this private school, because it would make the costs go down. Yeah, okay, the first question I asked in that interview, right? Or was it a sales pitch? I don't know. Caden told me, he's like, yeah, all the red flags were up that it was a sales pitch, because he does sales, and so he knows when, someone's trying to sell you on a product when you should be selling yourself. I didn't even have to sell myself to them. They do not lower the cost of any of their classes if you've taken classes. So I had, I think, 12 credits towards my degree, and yeah, costs didn't go down one bit. I was like, okay, that's convenient. And they kind of stopped contacting me once I got my financial aid and signed that we'd be paying cash for the rest. And so it was kind of like, okay, so now that you know where your finances are coming from, you're just going to ignore me. Anyways, I'm not going to make any claims out there or anything, but it just seems sketchy, you guys. And finally I opened up to Caden about it, I just thought to myself, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna suck it up. Like, who cares if the professors want me to fail? I'm just gonna work my butt off and get my degree and get out and then do nurse anesthetist, make a ton of money, right? And I finally opened up to Caden about it, and he's like, Hannah, it's so, like, I agree with you. It's sketchy. I thought it sounded like they were trying to sell them to you when you were in there for your interview. It wasn't even like they were interviewing you. They didn't ask me any questions. They didn't ask me about my past college experience or any extracurricular activities I did. And it was like, and I was crying because I didn't want to let down my family, you know, because finally I was doing something. I was going back to school, and like so much of my family has, you know, have prestigious degrees and are just really, really, really smart in the medical field, and I wanted to be like that, and I wanted to make all of them proud. And so here I was failing all of them again, because remember, I had previously dropped out, which we can talk about that later if you guys want. But so I was really upset, but I also just felt peace that I wouldn't be, you know, going into a situation that wouldn't, you know, wasn't for me. Like, I think I would have enjoyed nursing until, I don't know. I think I liked the idea of being a nurse more because you still, I don't know. Like, I had been working as a CNA all last year just to, you know, step my feet into the water. And I know being a CNA and a nurse is pretty different, but it's not 100% different. But anyways, I don't even know how to explain myself. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But it was just kind of, it felt good to kind of just choose for myself. And it's scary because, you know, once you quit something, everyone's like, so what are you gonna do? Like, what's next for you? What are you gonna, like, what are you gonna do then? Are you just not gonna do anything? Or I don't know. So it's really stressful in that way too, because, okay, I actually do know what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna do an activewear clothing line, okay? I wasn't gonna say this because it's gonna be so far into the future, but I also didn't want to say stuff like, I'm working on a project and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Now you guys know I'm gonna do an activewear clothing line. That is totally up my alley and something I could put my heart in. You know, I'm never gonna get bored with it because there's always gonna be new statements to come out with, new releases, and I think it's something that I could put my creativity into. And that's the other thing is I love being creative. He's snoring. Sorry guys. I love being creative, and that was a huge reason why I was scared to go into nursing, because I didn't feel like I'd be able to get that creative outlet, and I just love creating things with my hands and with my, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. And so an activewear clothing line, I'm pumped, you guys. And it's gonna have some really, really cool aspects to it. It's not something that's gonna come out a few months down the road because I want these pieces to be spectacular. You know, I'm gonna wear them for months, make sure they don't stretch out, make sure that, you know, they hold up well. And yeah, that is something that is just in the future for me. As of today, I'm 22 years old and I dropped out of nursing school. I'm gonna do an activewear clothing line. It's going on my vision board. And I'm super stoked about it. And I hope you guys are stoked too, because I'd love to make videos about the whole process of doing it and starting my own business, because I know that's gonna be something I'm gonna be passionate about from the beginning till the rest of forever. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more, comment below what you like. And if you didn't like it, give me a dislike, because I like to know what you guys think. Yeah, I love you guys. I will see you later. And say goodnight, crew. Crew? You want to say hello to the camera? No, he's sleeping. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Bye.